Okay. I'm back. I'm on Zoom. I am gonna put the link in. Um, we're gonna be talking. We could talk about many things, but I am also gonna be making a few things. Okay, a few things. Giving some advice on a few things, and possibly asking y'all for some advice on some things. Right? We're over here sharing. Everybody's able to share, and we could talk about it. I'm still sick. Hubby sick. He went upstairs when he got home. He went upstairs, got in the bed. Okay. By the time I went up there to grab the computer, he was snoring in the daytime. Like, mm, my mouth is dry. Hold up. I'm gonna grab me an ice pop. Uh, what? Grab me a blue ice pop, y'all. I have this thing about colors. But anyway, I am gonna be making cornbread. Okay. So I'm gonna be going through that. But I just want to say hello to everybody. Welcome to BombCherry. Welcome to the Bomb Squad. Okay. Um, and Bomb is still trying to figure out her plans moving forward, y'all. It's a lot, you know. Everything kind of changes. When I was younger, I just went through with the flow of being young and learning about the world around me and how I fit into the world, right? That's usually what happens when we're younger. That's me summing it up, right? People may say it differently in how they are in the world, but generally we all kind of fall into a space. And sometimes that space might be a good space or seem like a good space, and sometimes it might be a bad space. Some people may get comfortable in a bad space, or they may try to work their way out of the bad space. But wherever you are in your life, or how you know, negotiated your way through life, um, welcome. You're still here, so you must be doing something at least in part right. Okay. Um, I am not the person to tell you what you should and should not do in your life. I don't know if anybody should be giving you that type of direction. Although a lot of people are looking for that direction, right? Um, I could just tell you how I look at the world. And I think I'm one of them basic people. I know people say, oh, you're a little complex. I've heard people, like I was over there by Sharon, I think the other day, and somebody said you're sexually forward or something like that. I don't know how she put it, but like when I tried to get to the bottom, that was a great conversation that we could have continued to have, but Sharon had to go, right? It's this thing in which we as adults, how we look at the world. The way we look at the world is going to be based on our experience and what we have been taught to think. But children, right? Children are looking at the world for what it actually is. So I gave an example. I might look to see if I could find that video in which my grandson was looking at. He looked at all kinds of videos, right? They're crazy. I'd be wondering, but I'm not a kid, right? I'd be wondering what's funny about that. But I've always been that type, right? I was never the person who looked at cartoons. I told y'all when I was young. I always was like, when is this road runner gonna get caught? Right? The coyote came up with some great ideas. The coyote, y'all, used to do mathematics on a board and figure out, like what X mean and how he could get this rock to land on the Roadrunner. He would do that. And you would think, oh snap. You would think that they would allow that to work, but they actually showed us as children that no. Look, some people just have the upper hand. That's what that cartoon taught me, right? That it don't matter if you have if you're smarter, if you can work out the problem and figure it out. It doesn't matter. Some people just gonna skate by. Some people gonna just get by. And when I think about that as an adult, though, isn't that true to a degree? Should it be that way? Possibly not. Guess it depends on who you're looking at, who you're talking to, who you're asking. You ask the person who gets away with everything, then they think it's fair. The people who realize that no matter how hard they work, they just only gonna get but so far. Right? What's going on, Sugar Bump? Yeah, I was making white beans, girl. White beans, uh, Southern Creole, what Great Northerners, white beans. They done. They done. The rice is on and I'm getting ready to make some cornbread. What's going on, Brownie Ellie? How you doing, girlfriend? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Anyway, um, they got some people who just like they were just born into a certain family, and because they were born in that family, they just have the upper hand, right? They have the money, and because they have the money, they have the beauty. Now, I'm gonna talk about beauty in a few seconds. Okay, we're gonna go back to that. They got the money, they automatically have the beauty. They have the money, they automatically got the upper hand. Okay, now let's go to the beauty. What makes this person with all this money beautiful? Well, the people with the upper hand, they dictate what beauty is. They dictate what beauty is. They decide they need to be beautiful. They have enough money. Sexually fluid. Ooh, she did use sexually fluid, and I'm not sexually fluid, baby. Listen, I'm sexually hard and straight as a motherfucker. Okay, I am sexually straight than a motherfucker. There's no curves, no crooks, and no little dips, you know. And I'm not against people being sexually fluid or whatever. Maybe that's what she meant, that I'm just open, but really, it's not that I'm so open. It's that I don't care what other people do in their life if it isn't harming me, right? And if they're doing something in front of me that I don't like, I do a about face and go the opposite way, leave the area. What's going on, the stranger? So, but back to life, yes, a person with money, they dictate what beauty is. They have enough money to put themselves on billboards, right? And they start putting themselves in billboards, they start getting in magazines. And now, in no time at all, they become the standard of beauty. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it's always been, right? Um, they will tell you that whatever the opposite they are is the bad thing, and what they are is the right thing. And that's and all it was who they happened to be born to. They was born in a certain family. But it's not even just that simple, right? It gets even easier than that, because if you happen to be a right ethnicity, you can not have money and still get away with playing like you got money. We watched that with the scam artists, right? Remember that young woman? If I'm correct, that was like 2020 is when she got caught. They was talking about it everywhere. She was a poor woman, right? She traveled to New York, and just because of who she was, based on certain things, she was able to get connected with people, play a part, get them to use their money while only claiming she got money. She ain't got no money because her daddy is having some issue giving it to her. So can you pay for it? But she was so arrogant with it, like she got to be telling the truth, right? Because there's no way she just asked a friend to pay this $8,000 a night room. She didn't do it like I may say, girl, I can't pay for the room. And the room was only $100, right? Nah, she had big taste, baby, big dreams. She was living, she was acting like she had the money. She was acting like she come from the family with the money. Nothing but the best for her. And therefore, she played that role and she was able to get next to them people who lived that for real. And then she was able to scam those people. Now, I don't know if you call it scam, you know, in the instance of what she did wealthy people. You know, she did what they do to other people. She was like a wealthy people come to me and say, hey, oh, I love that dress you just made. Give me that dress. I'm gonna wear it and I'm gonna help you get a name for yourself. This motherfucker with all this motherfucking money, they don't even want to buy the dress. They want me to give it to them. They look, I'm desperate. I need to pay my rent. I gotta pay my mortgage. I gotta pay for my kids' school. I gotta do this. But this wealthy person who can do all of that, they want the shit for free. They want it for free. With and they gonna tell me they gonna put out my name out there. But isn't that something though? You can afford it. You want the dress. You like the dress. You the one who telling me you want the dress. You only want to pay for my hard work. That's how they keep their money. And somebody said, Reese said plastic surgery. Oh, I was gonna mention that, but you know they ain't got to do that. They was already considered beautiful even before they was beautiful. But then they start getting plastic surgery, and then they start getting the very same things that they consider ugly. Yeah, I am a black woman. I've always been a black woman. Right? No matter it don't matter what color my hair is, eyes are. When you see me in real life, my body shape is like a black woman. Now, I say that now because that's how it used to be. Now, in the last 30 years, there's a massive load of white women shaped like black women, right? They shaped like black women. The ones who we consider them to be like, because I remember when we would see some black girl, a white girl, and be like, "Girl, you sure you ain't got no black in you, girl?" Right? Now though, they got surgery, so you can't tell what's real or fake anymore. Okay. I remember that recently when she said fluid, but I was talking to her and it's crazy. It's crazy how back to that conversation real quick. We just talk about children, right? And how when she mentions that I'm sexually open and things like that, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know how you get that way, you know." And then it's almost like it could be a good thing but a bad thing. And then I went to that her and my children are the same age, right? Now, when she tells me her children are the same age as mine, in my mind, I instantly go, we must be the same generation, right? I go to we must be the same generation. Even if you're younger, you could be a younger Gen Xer. But when she told me her age, she's not a Gen Xer, she's a millennial, which then bring up a whole bunch of questions for me because you're acting like you're better because you don't talk about sex, you don't speak on sex, and you're not open to this, that, and the third. And yet, I'm a whole 10 years older than you, and we got children the same age. You want me to cam? Baby, I cam for 30 damn years. All I did was cam. I cammed and I was quiet. And now I'm loud and I don't cam. Okay. Um, yes. I'm loud and I don't care. But um, so this is my thing though, right? Y'all heard when I asked her, right? You remember when I said, well, I mean, if you're saying that your area was so religious and your area was so this, that, and the third, how is it that you had a baby at such a young age? Y'all remember when I asked her that? I didn't say it like that. I said, girl, we got children the same age. And I'm older than you, huh? How you had that baby like that? If you so religious, if you so this, that, and the third. Right? Remember when I asked her that? I'm like, I'm like, and the reason that is because I think she kind of agreed on it after I mentioned it. If we don't, she mentioned that her family didn't talk to her about sex. And that brought me back to what I had said even before we got to that. When I said that the family don't talk about sex, we don't have to teach our sons and daughters how to have sex with each other. They gonna end up doing it. They gonna find it. They gonna end up with each other and they gonna have sex. And babies will be born. You see what I'm saying? Babies will be born. That's what I had said even before, and they were, you think so? No, I don't think. Yes, yes. Humanity, human, or nature, those things will happen. We like to act like it's okay for the men to be aggressive and go out there and do whatever their hormones tell them to do. But then when it comes to the women, we act like, ladies, we act like we don't have no hormones. We act like everything is so great. We're just innocent and we don't have no desires, no needs. We act like our body just not talking to us. And only when we are truthful will these men stop acting like we're not human, want to treat us like we're just dolls that they can have sex with, throw to the side, right? And all this shit because when they didn't even know that we care about looks. Somebody convinced these men that all women care about is money. But they have to know that's not true, right? Like so many women are with men who have no money. A lot of women are with men who don't even have no goals or no attainable ones, right? We got niggas in their goddamn 30s and in their 40s still thinking one day they're gonna be rappers, baby. Oh no, one day they're gonna be rappers. Let me go find a beat real quick. Let me see. We gonna find something. Hey, listen, we need to make a song for these old ass niggas who think that one day they're gonna be famous rappers. Okay. Even when I had one on the panel and I wasn't like I was just speaking. And when I'm speaking, some of these men and even some of the women, they take it personally when I'm not even thinking about them at all, right? I had told him that the younger me as a human being, right, and a woman, I've never been with a man like him. He took that as an insult, but that's not an insult, right? If he had told me, Bomb, I've never been with a woman like you, I wouldn't have taken that as an insult. I may have asked him, well, okay, what you meant, like when he asked, but he didn't even ask me what I mean. He just took it as an insult. It was not an insult. I wasn't saying that that he was unattractive or this, that, and the third. Like I've actually seen a picture of him. I don't think he's unattractive at all. Right? I could see where there'll be a shitload of women right there trying to grab him up. Right? It just wouldn't have been me. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't. These men think they knew. They think they brand new. They think they some new creation that they created themselves. When the truth is, they ain't nothing but copycats, right? They get their flavor, they style and everything from somebody else. And the person they got it from somebody else. And the person they got it from somebody. When I see the men who just doing them, I like those type of men, right? They just doing them. They doing whatever they feel is them, what they want to do, what they doing and dressing how they want to dress because that's what they like. But most of these men, they they look at hip hop rappers or gangsters in movies and they swear up and down they want to be like them. People in fucking movies. In the goddamn movies. Somebody wrote a book. Possibly, maybe, could be. And in this book, they decided to make a movie, an adaptation of a book. And then from there, I watch a whole generation of people start living their life based on what they saw in a movie. It is something to see. Like I don't even know like why that would happen, but that's what happened. Um, I guess my generation we didn't have TV, and like when we were kids, we wanted to be Tonto or Lone Ranger. Or I'm trying to think who did I want to be when I was a kid. Like I remember wanting to be like a teacher. I remember family members, boys wanting to be police officers or cowboys or firemen. That's the kind of stuff we was pushed. And I remember wanting to be a teacher. I never want to be no motherfucking superhero. I never want to be Yu-Gi-Oh. From a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Is that how you pronounce it? Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh? I know it starts with a Y, I think. Um, that's my children's generation. My children generation. That means born in the 90s and grew up on TV and video games. And now instead of wanting to be police officers, teachers, doctors, lawyers, or whatever like that, they want to be super sane or whatever them people were. Told you I had a son like that. My Leaky's son, Leaky's dad. I mean, Leaky's dad. Man, he just one day just knew he was gonna be magical, baby. He just one day knew he was gonna be magical. But anyway, that conversation with her, that could have been a good conversation because I think people are confused, right? If we don't talk about sex, then our children will still find sex. They will be able to be easily talked into sex without even knowing they're being talked into sex, right? Can you imagine that you just playing doctor? You playing doctor with somebody older because that's what the older men like, right? Even though, look, even though they was only 25, isn't this something? Today, me thinking of a 25 as a baby, but I remember 25-year-olds wanting to be around my ass when I was 12, 13, 14 years old. And because I'm so young, I'm not even knowing what age they are, right? I didn't learn to look at somebody and kind of dictate maybe what age range they in until I was an adult. When I was a kid, though, I wasn't even like, I wasn't thinking, how old are you? Should you be around my young ass? No, because I was a child. These men, though, are pushing on. Oh, she knew. Look at her. She knew. She looked like she older. Look how she dressed. What does how she dressed got to do with her being a child or not? Did y'all see what happened to that senator? That was a senator recently. A senator just recently, y'all, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, got jailed. He got caught up in a sting. He got caught up in a sting dealing with children, trying to have sex with a child. Listen, these men are creepy. These red pill men, not men across the board. I'm not putting it on a race. I'm not putting it on a color. I'm not putting it on ethnicity, right? Which those things kind of mean the same thing. I know that. I'm just saying I'm not putting it on none of that. I'm not putting it on all the men. I am putting it on these red pill men who speak a certain way. For the last 10 plus years I've been on here, these men have been pushing for having sex with children. And they blame the child. And as an adult, back to us as adults, we think one way. I can look at a little girl outside and I can see how she dressed, and I can then make some determinations about it. But I'm an adult with life experience. She's a child with none of that. So let me put me at her age. Let's say 12. I'm 12. And I happen to like, I don't know, Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj, right? In some of her videos, she's very sexy, right? I'm gonna use the word sexy. But she is an adult and she could do that. I'm a child. I don't think, oh, she's an adult and she dressed like an adult. I think, ooh, I like the way she looked. I think, oh, that's popular. Oh, yeah, I see them dressed like that in commercials and in movies, and I realize that's fashion forward. I even see the older kids, older than me, dressing that way. I'm 12. And my mom tell me I can't dress that way. My dad tell me I can't dress that way. But somehow I'm able to grab a skirt, maybe a little, top from one of my older cousins. I know I shouldn't be wearing it. I don't know why. I just know they told me not to. But I think I'm going to get popular, right? Because I'm going to look like the older kids. I'm going to look like the older kids. The older kids gonna allow me to hang with them because I'm going to look like I'm a part of them because I want to be friends with them older kids over there. They look like they're having a lot of fun over there. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they look like they're having fun, and I want to be a part of them. So I got this top from one of my cousins and her skirt. When I got to school, I hurry up and dressed in it. And I'm walking around school looking good, feeling like, yeah, I look good. You know what me as a 12-year-old didn't think about though? I didn't think about what those men over there thinking about me. I didn't even see them old ass niggas until they popped up in my face, want to ask my name. They asked me all kinds of shit, but you know what they refused to ask me? My motherfucking age. Oh, baby. How is it that they forgot to ask me my age? They asked me everything else. Oh, I ain't never seen you around here before. You live around here? Yeah. Oh, okay. Where you live at? How long you been living here? I was born living around here. Who was your people? Oh, yeah, I know your dad and your mom. They in their mind, they start thinking, wait a minute. They start thinking with the wrong head in the moment, though. They decide that they can deny, as long as they don't act. They can act like, I know, and then they could start talking about she look older. The young boys don't think she look older though. Only you old ass niggas start claiming she look older. The boys her age, either they think she look good or they don't think she look good. You know what I mean? They now think, oh, you look much older. Only the old niggas start putting an age with what you're wearing. Ain't that something? And then we as women, we do it too. Some of us anyway, right? Even though I've seen babies in halter tops, belly shirts, be the cutest little thing. In the summertime, they get in bathing suits. And nobody should be thinking of them in a sexual way because it's not sexy. They're not old enough for any of that. And so, as far as you can see, it's just clothing, little cute little outfits. You know, I see them little girls in the bell bottoms with the matching shirt, with their little tummy showing. And I promise you, I never looked at no little girl and thought, that's too sexy for her. That's sexy. Because sexy actually has a meaning, right? Has a meaning. And because I don't look at kids in that way, I never look at no little boy and say, you sexy. I might say some shit like, you cute. You a handsome little thing. You cute. Right? But I've also said that to little girls. Oh, you look how pretty you look. You looking so beautiful today. None of those condemnation, none of that is related to sex. And then these grown ass men who looking at these kids, they use words like, she looked it older. No, nigga, you was praying that she was older. You was praying. She didn't even got no makeup on. She got a little Dora the Explorer book bag. Look, she got on them nice short, that skirt, right? Sorry, I had to spit real quick. She got on that nice skirt and that dress. I'm sorry, skirt and top. That's all it is a skirt and top. And this dude talking about she's sexy, she look older. She got on that skirt. She got leotards under the skirt. It's not even her bare skin showing. She got on like little tights under them. And she got a Dora the Explorer book bag. Walking down, this nigga talking about she look older. Nigga, she got Dora the Explorer book bag. That was many signs. She got pigtails in her hair. Little balls in her hair. There's a many signs that tells you that she's not an adult. She even mentions her mom told her she got to be home. All kinds of shit. All kinds of shit that tells you that that's a kid. But your ass just want to act like you don't know it, though. And not until you get caught. And let me tell you, you could convince a kid who don't know much about sex to have sex without them knowing they had sex. There's been a many times, especially certain kids they look good. That's what these men say. But you could tell that they're different. They have, I don't know what word to use. They're uh disabled. They have disabilities. We could call it the Jalen effect, right? Or the Randy Slocale effect, right? Where something's they just different, okay? They different. And just like I could tell it and you could tell it, these men could tell it. But they don't care about that. Because all they know is that he can get maybe what he want even easier. There was a story where this group of men is using this young girl. She would tell her Her mom, she going down the street to be with her friends. And she would ask her parents, can she go downstairs, down the street to be with her friends? And they would tell her, yes, be back at a certain time. Okay, cool. She go down the street, but her friends were grown ass men. And the grown ass men was having sex with her. But she didn't know they was having sex with her. Because she didn't know what sex was. She just knew she'd get to hang out with them. Now, when I say grown ass men, these men, they was in their late 20s and 30s. And I think there was even a few 40-year-olds who slid in that, right? Anyway, she's gone there every other day or whatever, hanging with the friends. And I think she ends up pregnant. And that's when all shit breaks loose, right? All hell breaks loose. Like, who got you pregnant? Like, who had you sex with? Who you had sex with? She had said she had no sex. She didn't have no sex. You had to have sex with somebody. So they investigate the parents, right? After they, because that's who they're gonna investigate first. They investigate the parents. Come to find out that it was her friends. And what all her friends was doing was they was having exercise with her. Yeah, it wasn't called sex to her. They called it exercise. You want to exercise with me? Can you exercise with me next? They even started charging other men. That's why there was so many of them. First, it was just like a couple of men. And then they started adding more men in, charging them. She had no idea. She thinks she's having exercise. And in order for her to keep her friends, she just had to exercise with them. Now, there's a lot of blame to go around, right? We definitely blaming those grown ass men who knew that wasn't called exercise. But that's how you can manipulate children. And the reason we gonna blame our parents because like you didn't even teach your kid what exercise was, let alone what sex is. You got your daughter around here exercising. Let me put the link in so I can start. I gotta cook this cornbread. I was gonna find a beat. I forgot what I was talking about to find a beat. These lame ass motherfucking niggas around here doing too much, talking too much, and then they always got a mammy or two ready to back them and talk about these little girls are fast. And I'm like, the woman who usually say that are they were the fast ones. And well, they was called fast. But even if I was called fast, which I remember like one person saying that to me, and I told y'all I didn't even know what that meant. I knew nothing about I knew about sex. My mom informed me what sex was. Nobody should be touching me here, here, and here, and things like that. Right? I knew that kind of thing. But at anything under like 14, I wasn't thinking about actively having sex. I don't know about other girls. I can't tell y'all what y'all experience was, right? But I can tell you though, when I started going through puberty, my body was doing all kinds of shit, right? You be horny, but not knowing what horny is, right? I don't know what horny is. I could tell you what made me always feel like I'm horny. When I was ovulating, even as a grown ass woman, still today, even though I don't no longer, because I'm going through menopause. So I don't have menstruations no more, right? But I still have the same cravings and everything that I had before, which means I can still tell when my body's ovulating because I still ovulate. I still have eggs, right? I just have no more, I don't have the womb or anything that if I got pregnant that would carry the baby to term. But my eggs still drop and all of that good old shit. And how do I know it? Because I can tell. My breasts get real tender. Oh, baby. And even if something brush up against them the right way, I'd be like, oh, God. Everybody's different. So what I felt during these times may not be what another woman felt at this time. But ever since I was a young girl, I realized like when I started puberty, certain things, my body was doing all kinds of shit. I didn't just break out in my face and start budding and my butt just decide to be there one day, like bam, out of nowhere. But I'm just saying, like I would I would having weird ass sensations in my pants. We can visually see the men when they get that way, but in case you men didn't know, girls go through something very similar. It's just not that simple though. We don't look at somebody. Well, I don't know. Some women say they can look at somebody and get turned on. Some girls or slash women say that. So I can't speak on that because I've never been where I can look at him and just all of a sudden I want him inside of me. But on the other side of that is I've seen boys when I had crushes on boys just based on whatever I liked about them. And I had dreams of being their girlfriend and their wives. And in all those dreams, I never dreamt of having sex with them. Like my dream was on some, we're gonna live together. And it would have we have babies, but the act of how you get pregnant, that shit never was in none of my dreams. It was we gonna hold hands. We gonna walk, we gonna, when I go to school, he gonna be at my locker waiting to talk to me. Hold on a second. One of my sons want to talk to me. Hold up. I gotta mute it because uh what? Wait, did I send it to you? Did it come to you? Oh Lord. I, uh oh, I sent it to you, Daddy. Yeah, I gotta give it to you. Hold up. I'll do it. I can't retract it, huh? No, you ain't gotta wait. I get it from him. Hold up. Yeah, that's crazy. I just sent that so quick. I sent it to you, Daddy. Hold up. Okay. Uh, oh man, that's sad that I can't retract. Okay, but I get it from you when you wake up. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh man, kids, baby, even when they're adults, even when they're adults. Anyway, what was I saying? Everybody, yeah, everybody's different. Our bodies are different, but because like when I was growing up, I didn't hear none of this, y'all. I didn't hear that little girls got go through this and that and that. All I ever heard about us was we on menstrual cycles, and they didn't even want to talk about that. They didn't even want to talk about that. You're supposed to keep that a secret, and you were supposed to, you know what I mean? Nobody should know, even when you're on. And so it's even private in the bathrooms. It was embarrassing in the bathrooms, and it was just women like little girls go. We were going through a whole lot. and really, yeah, just a whole lot, and getting different information. The good thing is I did have a few girl cousins who was older. Like I said, I had cousins on both sides of the family. They were older than me, and one of them, like now looking back, now because she was older than me, right, and like I loved her like as if she was my sister for real. So it boggles me when I realized that she was very trying to be harmful to me out of jealousy, which I don't even have no idea why. Right? I like as far as I can see, I my every cousin in my fucking family are nice looking. The girls, the boys, right? And yes, I do look different, right? In certain ways, I don't look different than everybody, right? I look just like my mom, eyes and hair and everything, right? But and I have another uncle with the eyes and the hair. So it's like five of us, right? But everybody else still nice looking. But I had no idea why she was jealous because I always thought she was fucking beautiful. You know what I mean? Like if I would have been a jealous type, I would have been jealous of her and many other women in my family. I'm just not the jealous type. I don't, you know, I I'm just not that type of person. But my fucking cousin, like she's teaching me all kinds of shit even before I had the new. Like I remember her teaching me about tampons. She was trying to get me to put a tampon in me when I was like a little girl. And she showed it to me. Y'all, if I show she got a glass, put some water in it, and she had this tampon and she pushed it and said it's supposed to go in you like this. And I'm looking at her. I had no idea what the hell she talking about. Because I wasn't at that point yet. Which means I started when I was 9. She's showing me this shit maybe somewhere at like 7, 8. But even at 9, my mom didn't hand me no goddamn tampons, baby. to put nothing in my body, you know? Um, so when she showed me that, I was looking at her. Hey, babe, you had a good day at work? Huh? Okay. I cooked beans. I'm gonna make some cornbread. So y'all don't have to buy no food. Maybe you don't want. That's my oldest son just coming in for work. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that's a whole nother story about my cousins and shit. But as a girl, right, we don't have that information. We didn't. Now I don't know, right? Because I told y'all I started when I saw this need and I was basing it on what I felt like I didn't have. And then I'm on the internet that's wide open, brand new, right? They were still calling it the World Wide Web, right? And I started my newsletter. And so even though I was talking about sex over here, right? That sex, sexuality, and shit like that, I was also adding in educational stuff like, hey, ladies, this is what our bodies go through. Hey, you don't know how to shave because I didn't. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is this. You need to know this about your body. Hey, guys, that's natural. Something you can eat before you go to have sex that will make sure she doesn't get pregnant. Ooh, wait a minute, Bob. You mean there's something I can eat that'll kill my sperm? Yes. Yes. There's something that you can eat right before doing it and it'll kill your sperm. And if you didn't know, there's something called spermicide. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, you mean to tell me I don't have to go get my condom and put hot sauce in it and throw it in the trash? You mean to tell me, bitch, you could go and they got something called spermicide that I can put on the tip, put on the condom, and then any sperm that comes out and touches that, it dies? Wait a minute, bitch. What? What you mean? I never heard of it. What you mean you ain't heard of it? You grown ass little motherfucker. That's what spermicide is, right? A woman could put it down there. Soon as your sperm hit it, boom, it's dead, baby. She could put it in a diaphragm. You could put it in a condom. She could put it in her female condom, right? There's all kinds of things you could do, baby. Sperm slithers out, but look, they come out, they come home, but they don't come out. Like the Roach Motel, baby, like the Roach Motel, the Sperm Motel, honey. Yes, they may come out, but they won't go home. They won't settle in. They won't be swimming no goddamn on contact. Look, they just fall over dead. Like on contact. But we got niggas with millions of dollars claiming that they had to go in the trash can and put some hot sauce on it. Nigga, you got millions of dollars. Spermicide don't cost that much money. But even worse than that, like people was thinking that story was true. Y'all know that story wasn't true. But these niggas online though, they was feeding it like it was true. They was acting like the shit was true. Cause in my mind, I'm thinking, why did this nigga put his condom in the trash instead of flushing it down the toilet? Woohoo! Like, whoop, that makes more sense than him putting it in the toilet, going back, getting some hot sauce and putting it in there. Felt it? Because I heard of men flushing their condoms for as long as I can remember knowing what a condom was, what it's for, and things like that, right? As soon as I learned that, I heard of men flushing it down the toilet. They took it off and flushed it down the toilet. Like, take it off and flush. Take it off and flush. You could be in a rush, but take it off, then flush. Put it down the toilet. That's right, we correct. I'ma be with you to the end. But I will not be your girlfriend. That's right. Take it off and then flush. Why would you be too rushed? Take it off and flush. Don't put it in the trash. Like, what the hell is going on? And then when I be like, that shit ain't real, and I feel like, okay, I'm not even gonna talk about that shit, because this shit got to be the most ridiculous motherfucker shit ever. Like, people was having real conversations about Drake going in the trash. This nigga done took this shit off, put it in the trash, and then he went in the trash after the fact to find it to put some hot sauce. And that makes sense. That makes sense to gutter heads. That makes sense to motherfuckers who so high they don't know what they doing. And a nigga who high don't know what they doing, they deserve babies if they fucking in that time frame. Okay? The fuck? Let me put the link in. The fuck, like, yeah, I remember that story, y'all. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna be quiet on it. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm like, it's too motherfucking ridiculous. It shouldn't be of a conversation. What in the hell are these dudes talking about? Around goes inside. I know that's right. Oh, a diaphragm. Yeah, a diaphragm is just like it was like the female condom, but it blocks when you put it in. So the difference between, and I think Candy Lane mentioned it, right? So the female condom looks like it's a diaphragm, but it had this long piece that actually goes in your vagina, right? That, I guess, for the penis to go in and out of that. But the diaphragm, though, it went inside of you, and it would block your womb, right? So even if sperm got into that area, it wouldn't be able to, the sperm wouldn't be able to swim up to find your the eggs or anything. So it's a diaphragm. And so they used to put spermicide just in case, like some sperm worked its way past or some kind of way. So they would put the spermicide in, then she would put that in. Okay. I know. uh, yeah, I'm gonna show you I'll show you a picture of what a diaphragm is. Did I pin it? Yeah, I did pin it. Hold up there. Let me go find a diaphragm real quick, y'all. P-A. Just it. Let me make sure. Uh, no, woman. Let me see. I might be spelling it wrong. Uh, yeah. Let's see. I'll show it to y'all. This is a good conversation. Look, because some things they kind of change and replace them. Okay, so here's a diaphragm. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a picture. Images. See what it look like? It's these are diaphragms. And it is fitted to you. And let's see if we can see where. See, and it kind of look like a female condom to an extent. You see it? Except the female condom, this part right here is longer. And I guess so the penis can fit in and out, in and out. Right? And where does it go? This is so the diaphragm goes right here. You put it in and you slide it there. This is the vagina, and the sperm goes here, but then there's that barrier that you put in there where it can't get into your vagina. Right past they're in your vagina, but they can't go into your cervix or up into your womb to find the egg. Now see that? So the diaphragm blocks sperm, and as a precautionary, I guess they would put spermicide inside that diaphragm just for as added protection. Let's see what this shows. So this is the vagina, and this is your cervix area, and then it goes up here into, here. So the diaphragm will be right at the base right here. And you just slip it in and you slip it out. And you know what is very similar? Anybody ever use that cup? That cup during that time of the month is a cup that you slide in. That's why you don't have leakage, right? Because that cup goes in and fits right in that spot as well. And that means when you're menstruating, it comes out through that and it goes right into that cup. I used to love that cup, but I could never get that cup out of me. Yeah, that's when I knew my husband loved me. Baby, listen, there's things that he has done that I know for a fact he loved me. There's other things where I might be like, look, you act like you don't love me, right? Because we just living life, going through life. When men or people do certain things, when they ain't got no complaints, no nothing, nothing. That the motherfuckers love you is when I started using that cup. I started using that cup. I put that shit in and I couldn't get it out. I'd be like, babe, I need you to take it out for me. And I would lay on the bed and he would go in and get that thing out for me, y'all. That's when I knew that man loved me. Because at one time when he didn't love me, right? We were married, but I knew he didn't love me. My husband wouldn't even touch my purse. If I asked him, hey, I forgot my purse in the car. Can you run out and get it? He would tell me no. Or if I was at home and I say, hey, I need I'm on my menstrual. Can you get me some pads? He would tell me no. He ain't even walking down that aisle. He wasn't even going to walk down that aisle where they got pads or none of that. It used to be like that for many years. Right now, my husband, he'll hold my purse to the car and out the car, all the way in the store if you have to. That's when you know, man, motherfucker love you, baby. Hello? 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 Who is this? This is Dolomite speaking. My name is Benson Told Agent. I was reading about the property 723 West 11th Street. Have you thought about selling this property? No, I'm not thinking about selling. Would you be able to think about selling even in the future? We're offering great convenience, by the way. Okay. No, if I ever think about selling, I would actually reach out to somebody to sell it for me. Do you want any other property besides this one that you consider selling? No, I'm not considering selling anything. Okay? Okay, bye. I'm motherfuckers be calling, baby. They want you to sell everything you got. They calling, reaching you. You considering selling? No, I'm not considering. I don't even know what the hell they talking about. Anyway, so ladies, yeah, that's what a diaphragm is. So you could get one of them, and instead of taking, these are the things that women used to use way before birth control pills. Birth control pills really fucks up everything about our bodies, right? If you happen to be a lucky woman who was able to get birth control and it not affect you in any way, then praise Lord, okay? You lucky. But for the most of women, you gotta remember we have a pill that's that's trying to control how our body reacts to certain things, right? And like, yeah, we all happy that we can't get pregnant if you don't want to get pregnant, but you might end up with bad cramps, heavy bleeding. You might end up, you might end up with skin problems. You might end up with emotional problems, right? And it's all kinds of things that they say that these pills have done to our bodies, and the aggression, right? That these men say that we have. Um, the pills have a lot to do with that. Different, and it's gonna handle you the way differently than it may handle me, right? It make me more aggressive. It make you more quiet, right? It may make you homicidal. It might make some women suicidal, right? And so through the so many years that birth control has been out, y'all going to the thing? Okay, have fun, take pictures, okay? You coming back to get dinner for him? Oh, damn. Okay. I made these beans, y'all, from Leaky. Leaky not even gonna, I'm not even gonna see him today. It's his sister's birthday, and so my son is taking him to a carnival, and that's crazy. Anyway, let me start on this cornbread. Yeah, so that's the diaphragm, y'all, and let me see what the woman's condom look like. Now I can't personally understand this woman the condom. I got one. I had one, right? Um, I told you I used to go and get condoms for my sons, right? Like if I went to a particular building and they had like a health department in there or somewhere where I know they was giving out free condoms, you just walk up to the desk and you say, "Hey, can I get condoms?" They ain't ask you your name or nothing, y'all. They ask you your name. They ask you nothing. They'll put it in a paper bag and just give you. And I used to just take the paper bag and give it to my sons, right? Well, my oldest son. And but I have a female condom. I ended up getting a female condom, and it looked just like this pack See that pack right there? It looked just like that. I never opened it or anything. Um, but did I open it? Because I know what it looked like. I think I did open one. I gave my niece, I gave some to my niece. I also gave her them little cups. Now, I gave her them little cups and told her um, that this thing was good, to use. I knew the dancers used the cups. That's how I found out about the cups. And but she got the cups because she wanted to have sex with the cup. Yo, she got that because she wanted to have sex during that time of the month. And I had heard that women were doing that. I don't know. Okay, like, but here go the female condom. Let's look at a better picture of it if they have one. Cause I seen how it actually looked. But it looks like this. And one end, let me see. One end is like this. So it won't slip in, right? It's so when you put it in, I never put it in, so I don't know, right? I'm not telling you exactly because it looks kind of weird to me. One end has the ring, and the ring is gonna cover your vulva and all that, right? Um, and then I guess you put the bye bye. You put the other ring, you fold it, you crease it, and you stuff it in there. And so it's gonna be there inside of you. The other side gonna be on the outside, and it protects your outer libias, right? Your labia, manjara, manara, and all that good old stuff, right? And so, and then I guess as he's having sex, he's going in and out of this plastic. Now think about this. When if I was talking to a guy, I'd be like, look, you got a condom? No, he want to do it raw. I said, well, I got female condom. He don't even have to know I got on a female condom. You could go and put that condom in and he'll never know you got it on, that you got it, right? He gonna be going in and out. He gonna feel the same sensation if he had the condom on. It would be better if he had the condom on. Because it'll be tight around him. He probably would feel more. But ladies, don't leave it up to them though. Right? Don't leave your life with them. I just saw a video. I want to show it to y'all. I know I put it somewhere. She was young. She was a dancer, and she got HIV at a young age. She was like 20 when this older dude infected her with HIV. Um, wow. Like I, to me, that's always been the scariest thing ever. It's one of the reasons why, like, I was I was okay to get married early. Like when I say, hey y'all, I don't know why I got married early, right? That's me at this age, and I'm thinking about it from this perspective. But now let me take you back to the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s perspective. Me as a young woman, right? Out into the world, right? Uh, seeing all these nice, handsome men being nice to me and treating me well, and my body doing what it's doing, and his body doing whatever. I don't know what the fuck his body doing. I don't care about what my body doing, right? But um, I was scared of pregnancy. Cool, that means I'm gonna protect myself. But I wasn't on no birth control pills. Okay. Me and pills never went well with each other. So I never got I tried them, made me sick, and that was it. They was like, you could try this type, this type. So you gonna switch me from all these different dosage? Nah, I'm good. So, but I was deadly scared also of HIV. That shit was running rampant. like rampant, like fucking for real rampant. And so I was gonna have to wear condoms anyway, right? I'm gonna wear condoms anyway because I don't want to catch nothing. I can't imagine going home telling my parents I got HIV, telling my dad who been protecting me all through my childhood, making sure everything good, and now I done went out in only 1 year, and I come back with something I can't get rid of for the rest of my life. And back then, you died from it. We're in a different time today. Back then, no, that was a death sentence. It also meant you couldn't have no children. They didn't have the information they have today. So, I always wanted children, a lot of them. So here I am, scared of HIV. So that means we gonna have condoms. So I don't need no birth control pills. The fuck I need birth control pills for? And then I like this dude right here. Right? And I'm like, I like this dude. He like me, right? Find out he ain't married already. He ain't doing no lot of lying and shit, right? He ain't out there just lying to me. Because if he gonna be with other people, then I got a decision to make, right? I got a decision to make. I'm telling you, once you tell a man that you want to play by his rules, you tell him you're gonna play by his rules. And if he cheat, you're gonna cheat. And if he don't call it cheating, then he don't have to call what you doing cheating. Like they think about everything from that moment. It put them on notice. And every time they do something, they'll think about it. And if they do it, they're gonna make sure it's secret, baby. Because if it ever get found out, baby, they already know what's gonna happen. And my husband, anybody who I ever dealt with, knew what time it was. And they can make a decision to go about their motherfucking business. These niggas talking about, it wouldn't have been me, nigga. You wouldn't have had no choice for it to be you. The gall of some of these men, thinking that they would have ever had a chance, honey. You ain't got a chance even today, nigga. I'm 55 years old. You still have no chance today. You definitely didn't have no chance when I was 19. But anyway, so if I'm gonna wear a condom, like a condom gonna be had. So now, because I don't want to catch nothing, then I don't need no birth control. But then I jump into this real relationship, and now, right? We claiming we're gonna be serious, and I ain't give a shit. He was wearing condoms. Hubby, he was wearing condoms. Okay, I remember one time, like, cause we would have sex back to back. Remember, we were young. We were young. We would just do it, and then he'd be ready for round 2, and then I'd be like, okay, and then round 3. But one time, I think we was like at round one night. We were like at round 5, but at round 4 though, he was like, he started kissing me on my neck again. And I'm half sleep, and I say, okay, in my mind, I'd be like, okay, but here we go again. And then we start, and then I realized, like when we get in the heat of shit, everything going, and then I realized, like, cause I was half asleep when we started, I realized, wait a minute, did you put on a condom? No. Oh hell no! I'm like, okay, you got get out. You ain't got another one? Yeah, I got another one. Okay, you better get it, because if you ain't got no other one, it's over. Game over, baby. Game over. But yeah, that's a time where I guess we just lucky we didn't get pregnant. Um, but yeah, that's the closest he got. Look, you don't give them the goods if they're not willing to marry. If they're not willing to make an honest woman out of you, or whatever you want to call it, a commitment or whatever, right? They don't want to put no labels on it. Then you keep it plastered up, baby. You put a plastic around that motherfucker. You tell them break only in case of marriage. Okay, rip this package only after marriage. That's what you do. You be shocked how quick they be ready to get married. You can give him the goods because you like having sex. You like having sex. Nothing wrong with it. He just don't get it like he's your husband. No, baby. Oh, you want to feel that heat again? You want to feel how warm and moist? Then I need that wedding ring right here. And that's for those of you who want married. When I say that women have the power, these men keep claiming they got the power of marriage. You got the power of marriage. You the one with the sole power of marriage. And because you have decided to revoke your power or not use your power, right? Or you don't think you have the power, then these men not marrying. But if you think a man won't marry you just to get sex, oh hell yeah. You giving him the sex already. He wanted different. He wanted special. He wanna be yours, and he want you to be his. He wanna ask you who this pussy for. If soon as he asks you who this pussy for, you let him know for my husband. That's who. Uh-huh. Don't ask me again. Okay, because it's for my husband. And he's the only one who gonna get it the way you want to try to get it. You ain't getting it that way. And even if you already married, even if y'all not married, but y'all got kids together, I'm telling you what to do. If you want to be married, you start telling him we're not married, but so we're gonna start acting like it. We're gonna act like what the reality is, right? The reality is we're not married. I don't want to have no more children for a man I'm not married to. And so you got to go buy you a whole big box of condoms. He gonna think you're joking, but you let him know you're not. He he was able to test the cow, take the cow, milk the cow. He even have babies with the cow, right? All that. He had the milk. He know the milk is good. He's still hanging around because the milk is like that, keeping him around. Now it's time for you to lock up that goddamn refrigerator. You ain't gotta lock it up, but you got to wrap it up. You tell him, mm-mm, I love you and everything, but I realize my worth, and this is what I want. I would like it from you, but if you don't want to give it to me, cool. And this is how we gonna do it. And you make him get some condoms. And if he don't want to get them, you go get them. And if he don't want to put them on, then you tell him where you gonna get you some female condoms. He ain't gonna like that shit. He ain't gonna like the way that feel. Okay. And people be like, but Bomb, that don't sound right. You sound like you give him an ultimatum. Well, what the fuck? Like, what y'all think life is? Like, people, it's nothing but a whole group of choices. People got choices to make. You make choices, the other people make choices, everybody make choices. It's not, you know what I mean? And if you want something and the person you with not giving you that one thing, and he or she hasn't expressed why they ain't giving that to you, like they have no valid reason, then yes, nothing wrong with giving an ultimatum. But this is not even really an ultimatum, right? Because you still with them, you still dealing with them, y'all still loving each other and shit. You just have put restrictions. Those restrictions are worthy of your husband and or your wife. Your husband, the person who you gonna marry you, is the person who you said these things are set aside for that person, right? That's set aside for that person. No, people get scared because they be like, "Oh, I might lose my relationship." I don't know what to tell you. Um, if there's something you're not getting that you want from your relationship, you gonna you gonna continue that just because you're scared of losing your relationship? Oh well. Um, anyway, the rice is done, and I need to wash this thing. This is that cupcake thing I made them goddamn pieces. Mm. I'll show it to y'all after I finish this. Um, anyway, let me stop this. Anybody, anything else y'all want me to see a picture of? So we know what the male condom look like. And by the way, a male condom is supposed to be tight, sir. It's supposed to be hugging you tight. If you got a condom on and you say it don't feel good because you got it's too big on you, right? And you feel uncomfortable because it's not holding you tight. It should be real tight, damn near uncomfortably tight. Okay. And you need to put it on right. That little part at the tip should not be filled with air. You should squeeze the air out of that because that's where everything gonna go. And if you have it too loose, and you have that area blown up like a bubble, then it will break. Condoms will be 99.999% accurate, but it's not. And the only reason it's not that high is because of user error. So they put it at something like 97%. Okay, due to user error. Not getting them too large, getting them too tight, getting them too loose, getting, not putting it on correctly, using oils that you shouldn't be using oils with it, right? Um, yeah. Trying to reuse condoms. Who in the hell reuses a goddamn condom? Motherfuckers be trying to reach for their old condom and put it back on. Ladies do not. What the hell? That's like me using. I don't even know how. Like this is so gross. I can't even think about what that's like. Right? You didn't use this condom. That's like him using a condom on me, and then some other woman comes in and he goes in the trash to pick it up and put it on. That got to be the most nasty. I don't know. You going to way back? Oh, okay. Anyway, uh, they got gross people out here though. Okay, got gross people. They got the men who want to be with kids. They want to sexualize the kids. The women be all in it, right? Um, I got the ones who want to call little girls fast. Then you find out when they had their children. Find out that they had their children when they was young, being fast. They want to call somebody sexually forward. I'm like, girl, you was having sex probably before me. How am I sexually forward, girl? You sexually forward, honey. Okay. Just because I talk about sex don't mean I'm having sex with just any and everybody, but who I do have sex with, I ain't gonna lie. We have sex, baby. Okay. Whoever I have sex with, they ain't unhappy. They not unhappy with the sex. Okay. They ain't unhappy with it. As long as I'm happy with the sex, then they ain't gonna be unhappy with the sex. But if I happen to be unhappy with the sex, then I ain't staying with you long. Bye bye. I don't know why I would be with a man who couldn't do right in the bedroom. These men want to convince you though. He gonna protect you. I'm gonna be your protector. I'm not throwing out no dick though. Wait a minute, let me find out beauty, baby. I know. Listen, he don't know. I'm like, how you gonna protect me? You can't even deep down. You can't even throw that D. Throw that D. How you gonna what else you gonna throw? What you throwing, man? Uh-huh. You gonna have I don't even know. You're gonna be fighting everybody. Cause if I can't get the D down right from you, then I might be looking for to get D down from other people. I'm sorry, y'all. My computer, I had to wipe it down real quick so I could go and find us a beat. Okay, we gotta go to YouTube. He don't want to throw that D. He gonna be my protector. Who you protecting? Who are you protecting, baby? You might want to protect that whack ass dick of yours. You might want to keep that to yourself. Don't let nobody know. Keep it in your pants. Whack ass.
Dame la ciencia.
What? Hit it. Get it. Woo. Whack ass. Dick. Dick. Get you off straight. Cause you got a whack ass dick. That's right. Get it. What? Yeah. Listen. You gotta become a motherfucking trick. Cause you over there with that saddest dick. I don't know what's going on, but I get a big flick, trick. Yeah. Them niggas got whack ass dicks, y'all. Hey, listen, ladies. I know some be like, "Bomb wilding out," but I'm just saying what y'all thinking. I'm saying what I've thought in the past, right? And I don't know. Like, we gotta be women, ladies. We gotta be ladylike, right? And we gotta have you gotta have what they say. We gotta have class, right? We gotta act like we have class, and we gotta be ladylike. And at the same time, we gotta be missing out on things that we should have, because see, it's unladylike to tell a nigga his dick is whack. It's also unladylike to have had sex with him, the sex be whack, and then you ghost his ass. See, that's unladylike. He'll then call you a bitch, a whore, a tramp, and all kinds of shit because you ghosted his ass. But what he need to know is, if you got ghosted, nigga, after you gave some whack ass dick, it's because you gave some whack ass dick. And nobody want to hear that shit about I was drunk. Oh, I'm sorry for coming so fast. It's because you so good. Like, fuck, what the hell you talking about? You was able to use that on us when we were little girls. We as women don't want to hear none of the motherfucking excuses, nigga. You better go buy you a toy and learn how to use it and implement that shit on your sexual conquest, nigga. You should not be alone when we get together in the bedroom. You should be bringing some dildos or some bullets or something, nigga. You got to come as a goddamn couple, nigga. You and some other devices, nigga. If you coming along with that whack ass dick, then you gonna be alone without me. And nothing wrong with that, ladies. You ain't got to say it the way I said. I'm gonna make a whole goddamn what do you call it? Like a not a gif, but a sound. I'm gonna make a sound, and then when he give you some whack ass dick and you trying to ghost him, you can send him my clip. I'll make a beat for y'all. You tell him not to come over again unless he coming over with a friend. Don't come over again unless you're coming back over with a friend, because you need some help in the den. You need help in the den. Don't come over again unless you're coming over with a friend. That's right. Niggas, these niggas with these whack ass dicks, baby. Woo, Lord. Listen, I've experienced it. Lord have mercy, I've experienced it. And I felt like the nigga just gave me some pussy. This nigga huffing and puffing, acting like he about to blow the whole house down. A huff and a puff, and then it's over. And I'm still there. This nigga acting like he done ran a whole goddamn marathon. This nigga didn't even get to the starting line. Nigga didn't even get to the starting line. He all huffing and puffing and shit. And all I'm thinking about is, what in the fuck just happened? Did I have sex just now? That's why you ain't get counted, nigga. You never gave me no dick, nigga. In fact, I ain't gonna tell nobody nothing about you, because all you gave me was some pussy. And now I'm feeling like a lesbo with your ass. Okay, I feel like a whole lesbo with your motherfucking ass, and I ain't telling nobody, nigga. Not telling nobody. I'm not telling my best friend. I'm not telling. I'm not fucking with you ever again. Okay. Mm-mm. And then they get mad. Man, before there was a thing called ghosting, I ghosted a few niggas. Okay. And I told y'all what I done told them cause they don't like being ghosted. They come and hunt your ass down. They come and haunt you, looking for you. And out of nowhere, them niggas be like, "Boo, where you been?" I'll be like, "Oh, what you mean? Like I haven't heard from you in a few weeks." Like, yeah, I've been busy. You know what I mean? Like I've been busy catching up with this and that, and like, but you couldn't call me. I'm like, well, I figured that I'm so busy that I don't you don't have time for me because I really don't have time to really be there for you like that. I think like you're a good person. You're a good person, and I could tell, like, you know what I mean. If it wasn't for me being so busy, you would be the perfect guy for me. But what I'm saying, like, I'm busy, and I don't foresee in the next 45 years that I'm gonna ever have time for you. So I just thought like you would just I just thought that you really didn't like me like that, and you was gonna do your thing. You're like, nah. I'm like, well, listen, I don't know what to tell you, my brother, because um, you a good person. You know what I mean? You handsome and everything. You know what I'm saying? Tall and cute, all that good old shit. You smell good and everything like that. But I know you deserve somebody who gonna be there for you. Who gonna be there to take care of you, rub your back, rub your feet. But I ain't got time, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because for the next 45 years, I am. Look at the calendar. 1990, 1991, 2024, 2025. See that all the way from I don't see no time for you, babe. And I think by the time I have time for you, you could be the guy married, had some children. I know you're gonna have some beautiful children. They're gonna be some beautiful children. They're gonna come out all chocolate like you, handsome like you. I know we will have good, nice looking children too. I know I get it. But I ain't got time, baby. My schedule is all booked up for the next 45 years. For the next 45 years. And then not see, I had to talk to this nigga and make it seem like he too good for me. He just too good for me. Okay. and he is just too good for me, baby. Them niggas done jumped out of bushes. I told y'all stories about niggas tricking me. But I kind of hinted that I done had to trick some of these niggas too. Okay, I straight up had to lie to them, tell them that they just so good. I'm just not your type. I'm bad for you, baby. I'm not good for you. Mm-hmm. That's to keep safe. Cause let me tell you, men will go crazy on your ass if you breaking up with them. Okay? That's right. It's not you, it's me. Whatever for me to get the hell out of there. Okay? And them thinking they gonna keep giving me that whack ass dick because I just can't do it. Mm-hmm. Now, I do not expect women to act that way, be that way, be upfront that way. I'll do it for y'all though. So I want all the men to hear me. If you got whack ass dick, some of these women gonna walk away. Okay? Don't let these other men convince you that women do not like sex. Okay? What's the sense of me having sex with you if it's not enjoyable? That don't even make sense, y'all. Do that make sense? Because I don't think these men are pussies, first of all. Um, they have the upper hand on a lot of this shit. And what I mean by that, when we have sex, right? We on our back and they on top of us with all they motherfucking weight. Put a nigga on his back and make him get in the position that you in. And you be and see how he like that. He not gonna like that. He don't like his legs being wide open like that. They act like we built that way, but we're not. We have the same type of, we human like them. We walk upright. Our legs are not naturally just wider, right? Put that nigga on his back and say, this is what you giving me, right? This is the position. Take one of his or both his knees and put him to his motherfucking ears. Like, I've been in those type of positions before. And these men ain't never been, my husband ain't never been in that kind of position, not with me anyway. Okay. And so, but I've been in that position so many motherfucking times, I can't count. And what I'm saying is, they don't even, until you start showing them the positions you're in and make them get in it. Make them put their face down, ass up. Okay? That's easy to do, right? But then you get behind them and put all your weight on them as they pushing in and fucking out. Let's see how long they could take that. You ain't got to put nothing in their ass or nothing like that, but get behind them and show them and push your weight and see how long they can do that shit and how many years they'll be able to do that shit. I'm old. I'm 55 years old, and I don't no longer. I like the position as far as ease and all that shit, but I don't like the position as far as comfort anymore. my big ass up in the air. I'm too old for that shit. We gonna have to find some alternatives to this shit. Yeah. Y'all know I'm crazy as hell. I ain't telling you no lies. So we gonna have me and hubby gonna have to do some reading of some books. We got to find some alternative to my big ass with in the air. Okay? He gonna have to start using his muscles and shit. These strong, overprotective, protective little motherfuckers, right? That's what they say they're gonna do. We're gonna see if he gonna be able to lift my big ass up. Lift my big ass up. Okay? That's what we because I'm tired. Miss Not everyone said not a lick of sense, Bomb. You ain't got a lick of sense, girl. You know it. I know it. We all know it, girl. Look, Miss Kira said, they didn't like my ass. I want my old fuck out of here. I know that's right. They really think they can get away with that shit? They couldn't. Like, I would always be wondering, like, this nigga huffing and puffing, acting like he did a whole job. And yeah, I wish that nigga would have asked me for a sandwich. I used to see the movies where the lady get up and she go, "You want something to drink? You want something to, you hungry?" Nigga better not look, and he couldn't even spend the night. Not with after that. After that, he got to get the fuck out. He got to go. My nerves ain't right. My nerves ain't right now. He got to go, baby. I done talked him out the room some kind of way. He thought he was spending the night. Look, it was even his house. Nigga, no, you got to go. I convinced him out his own house. I don't know. But I was like, you got to go. You got an emergency. Okay? My nerves ain't right. You got to go. I did that to one guy. I ain't really kick him out of his house, but um, I kicked him out the room. He went and slept in the living room. I was like, my nerves ain't right. I got to think about this right now. Okay? Didn't want to ask him to bring me home, but okay. That's the one who was poking holes in condoms. That was a different situation. Okay? Yeah. I couldn't go showing up at home that late because I had already lied to my dad and told him I went somewhere else that I didn't go to. Okay? Yeah. That nigga was in his living room and I was in his bedroom. Okay? Trying to figure out what the hell is going on right now. Okay? What the hell is going on? And they like the fact that they could just use us. And then when we have their children, the thing that used to be the most important thing to men to society, to humanity, they're now making it seem like you ain't do nothing for me. You done gave this nigga children and everything. He want to know what you could do for him. What you mean what I could do for you? I done already done something that you can't do yourself. You see? These men are on here trying to negate like our power and what it is that we provide. They have made it into something so invaluable. They want us to think that it ain't shit. Now they're bringing it down to child support, right? They don't want to give even child support for a goddamn child that's theirs. They don't care about feeding the child, nothing. All they care about is you, what you doing, what your vagina doing. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We'll work just in the thought that you can have children. But listen, that don't make you valuable or less valuable because you decide to have or not have children. That's not your work. But what I'm saying is these men couldn't do that without you. Right? I know soon as a man able to have children, the humanity will stop. They still gonna need women. They're gonna, oh, but they done figured out how to have men have babies now. Like, really? Shit. Women gonna get rid of their uterus early on, baby. I'm gonna find me a man to have our children. Listen, if I'm reincarnated, baby, and I'm a woman again, and they done gave men the ability to have babies, I am gonna write into my soul. I'm gonna brand it in my soul, baby, because when I come back, I'm gonna still have the same soul, right? Sorry about that. I had to spit. I'm a brand in my soul to remember not to have no more children. Let the man have a child. Let the man have a child. And I'm gonna be a bitch getting with men who gonna be willing to have our children. And then I'm gonna act like these men early on. I'm gonna have a many baby daddies. I'm just gonna walk around this bitch impregnating niggas. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna walk around this bitch impregnating niggas. What you come over there talking about? Trying to see if I want to make this cornbread because my grandson not gonna be here. Um, I don't know if I'm making cornbread, y'all, because one of my sons do eat it. I was gonna make them like muffins in because it's easier that way, individualized, right? But like I might eat one, hubby will eat one, and my oldest son he may or may not eat one. It just depends on what they decide to eat. Um, let me see these beans. I'll show them to y'all in a second. What did I do there? Let me show y'all the beans real quick, okay? Yeah, they taste good. I kept saying it was missing something, but I think it was me, y'all. But after it cooked and marinate and sit for a while, cool down, that's when all the flavors seem to be more prevalent. Is it the same as the box kind? Yeah, I'm about to do it from scratch. I'll show y'all. I'll make it just to show y'all. And then we'll go from there. Okay, it's real simple. You're just gonna need the same things you need, like an egg, some milk, and if you don't have milk, I'm gonna show y'all what I have on hand just in case, right? And then and do you need milk when you're making cake or cornbread and they call for milk? You can always replace milk with water. In fact, y'all see that in some of the things you make where some you wondering why this box says milk and that box says water. Because you can always just use water. Milk just gives it a little more richness, but you can make that richness by adding something. Okay. You don't have to come. You don't have to come up if you want. I'm gonna share the screen. But if you do have questions, you can. Okay. So let me prepare everything. This muffin pan, because I'm gonna make it into muffins. But maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna make it into muffins. I guess I don't have to make it in muffins. I could just put it in a. So I'll show y'all the different. But I'm gonna make it into muffins. So I gotta clean this muffin pan a little bit here. I used it to make those little miniature pizzas I told y'all about. Yeah, I'm not happy about the miniature pieces, but I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna make a. I decided today when I was talking about it that because I recorded that, right? Recorded me making it, but I didn't like the result, so I'm gonna record it again. Made some parts of it again, and then I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it like, is it a bus? Is it good or a bus, right? And then we'll see. But yeah, these people are making shorts and shit, and it didn't be looking good. But I'm telling, I'll be able to tell you that woman clickbait, right? And it's a black woman too, y'all. It's a, it's it's she's a black woman. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna be able to prove to you that it's clickbait. Okay, and ain't shit she gonna be able to say about it. Okay. Um. Okay. Let me get this right, and let me grab my tripod, and let me move this up. Okay, I don't need that. So when I'm gonna wash my hair this weekend. So when I was making rice, when I was cleaning the rice, I keep the rice water for my hair, y'all. And when I found out rice water strengthens your hair, I've been doing it, and I was like, wow. So I'm still testing it. I can't tell you if it's a fact or not. Right? Do I see any differences? I just started testing it, so I don't know. But I figured, shit, I use rice all the time. Just rice water? Okay. Well, shit. I wash my hands in rice water. Give y'all, um, okay, let me see. I did this. Let me get my phone. I'm gonna use the iPad. Let me see what percentage. Yeah, I use the iPad instead. Cause y'all gonna hear me from the Zoom, so uh put it on. Do camera. Okay, that almost failed. That's not good. On the try. Y'all have to clean the sink. What's that? I mean, that's not good. Make it a mess. Okay, let's change the view. Boom. Advanced iPad, iPhone. Uh-oh. I didn't want to do that. Stop. Okay. Look, I switched the hubby up there. I switched the TV instead of the Zoom. Okay. Wait, unable. Wait, why? I might need to update. Saying unable to connect the Zoom. I don't know why. Let me start. Might be because I did it to the TV. Hold up. Let me stop it and start it again. That's weird. Why would it do that? Let's see. Share. Okay, there we go. Okay, I guess while I'm here, we'll put you over here by the beans. Let's see what that look like. Okay. So here are the beans, and they looking pretty good. They're looking really good. Okay. You don't see the tomatoes as much, but you do. They have a few in there. That's okay. They soft. It's mostly meat. That's meat. I didn't even put much meat in there, y'all. So I only put a few pieces of bacon in, right? Um. Okay, so let's get this cornbread. Let me grab a few things over here. I'm gonna use this pan, right? Move that out the way. So I've got cornmeal and flour. Okay. Let me get a couple of bowls. So you gonna want two bowls, right? They don't even have to be that big. The reason you want two bowls because you want something for the dry ingredients and something for the wet ingredients. Because this is a bread, but even though it's a cornbread, you don't want gluten to form. That means you don't want to overmix it. So that's important. And I just need something for the wet ingredient, which will be the milk, the egg. I'll just get a cup or something for that, or a smaller bowl. Okay, it's two bowls. There we go. And my flour is in a big bag, just like my sugar, y'all. I'm not sure if y'all ever seen it. Show it to y'all. Fried it like this. That's the that's the flour, and that's the sugar. Okay, big bag, 25 pounds on the sugar and 25 pounds on the flour. I usually buy a bigger flour from the restaurant store. It's like 50 pounds, but I haven't been baking as much as I used to, so this has been doing me well. Okay, and it's just all-purpose flour. It's gonna be one part of each, one part cornmeal, one part. Um, thought I broke something. Okay, I did something fell. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Okay, cool. Um, I think I just need those two, maybe a little pinch of salt. Okay, so 1 cup of flour. So I take a scoop of flour, I kind of shake it like that, and get it level, and that's a cup of flour. Okay, and then I'm gonna get a cup of cornmeal. Okay, it don't have to be exact. Okay, but you want it as close as possible. Okay, so it's one to one. That means one of each. Okay, mix that up. They got different types of cornmeal. They have yellow cornmeal. They have white cornmeal. I don't really be caring. I've never I don't have a particular brand. Okay, so you don't have to look for this brand. You just want to look for ground cornmeal. And it can be white if you're okay with your cornbread being white. Okay? I don't like I don't have a brand. The honest truth is I grab what I grab, and if it's on sale I grab it. But I'm not really like I won't choose no brand names just because it's cheaper, but if I make a decision, I'll look at it, see what the difference between the brand name and the non brand name, right? Some people like certain type of flowers, they're white lily flower. And I'm like, stop your shit. Like, what's the difference between white lily flower and regular flower? None. None, baby, none, okay? You go and look to see what percentage of the flour. They go into all of that. If you go and look, and you'll see that there's no difference. Okay? So, when it comes to the dry ingredient, you basically gonna use the flour, the sugar. You're gonna need some baking powder, right? And some salt. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now, let me grab my baking powder. The thing about baking powder, some people say, "Well, I might not have no baking powder." This is not expensive and it lasts you forever, unless you bake a lot. Okay, it lasts you forever. And look, this is great value. So it's not expensive. You can get almond. I think it's almond hammer. You can get that if you want. I have not had ever had a problem with this. Okay. Let me see. I need a what is sugar at? Okay, here you go. Sugar. So I need a fourth cup of sugar, but I am making a sweet cornbread. Okay. I'm making a sweet cornbread. So I am actually going to use a half a cup of sugar. Okay. I'm ah we making Jiffy, baby. We look, it might not be called Jiffy, it's the homemade Jiffy. And what is the difference between a Jiffy and a regular is really the amount of sugar. So I am going to use a half a cup of sugar. Okay. I'm just gonna use this cup. I'm scoop up this stuff. So two of these is a half a cup, in case y'all didn't know. Two one fourth, two one fourths is a half a cup. The only reason I used this to scoop up a half a cup because I didn't want to put my my flour into my sugar because I don't have them in the little containers right now. My containers are up there on top of the freezer and I can't reach them. So I didn't. So that's a half a cup of sugar. Okay, and we're gonna put a little salt. Um, mm, let me see. What is it? A teaspoon, and I just need. Let me see. There's something in that. No, that just scratches. It just scratches in that. Okay? I need three of those. I go to baking, but I want to crush that up. Some of it kind of look lumpy. Mhm. So when you take this, you just clump in there, and when you come, you put it at the top of it, and you drag it off like that, and that should give you a level. Okay, I need three of those. See, I got the lump though. The lump is making it hard. Okay. And use teaspoons, not tablespoons. Table equals big, tea equals small. Okay. Okay, and I put the sugar in. I just want a little bit of salt. Let me grab that. The thing is, you need to add salt. Some people might not want to use salt. You could use the salt as much as you want, right? You could use a fourth the cup. And I usually use, I'm going to actually use a whole goddamn, look, how much am I making? Ah, how, how many pounds? See, I didn't weigh, right? I use 1 cup, right? When it comes to the salt, I told you I'm scared when it comes to salt. I'm just, I'm going to use, because I did it, even though I used 1 cup of flour, I ended up really using 2 cups, right? I just mixed up the flour with the um with the cornmeal. So I'm gonna use a whole teaspoon. That's not a lot. It looked like it is. It's not. You could use less if you want. Where is my salt? Oh, here. Yes, it's actually a little bit. It looked like a lot in theory, but it's not. When you look at everything, this is all your dry ingredients, and that's a little bit compared to. So kind of mix that up. You want this mixed up with the salt blended. You want the cornmeal blended. You want everything blended. Okay. Cool. Now we're gonna put that to the side. Now we're gonna use my wet ingredients. So I am gonna, let me see, I do have milk, but let me make sure it's good. So my milk expired on the 6th. Oh, that's not long ago. What today is? Like the 8th? So it's good. But if you're scared and you're wondering, you look at it first. Look at it, right? It's still jiggling, everything seems good, right? And then you smell it. And it smells like milk. So you're good. Okay. It takes a while for milk to spoil, especially if it's in the refrigerator. And I need an egg. Let me get an egg. Now, but let's say you don't have milk or your milk is spoiled. Let me see where it's at. Oh, I see it. It's way up there. God damn it. Do I want to close it down? Ah, oh, okay, let me grab it. I gotta grab my thongs, right? These are my long reachers, y'all. When I can't reach stuff, I grab this and I try to grab it from the top up there. Come on down. Oh, oh. Okay, see this right here? Non-fat dry milk. This is good for baking. When you don't have milk, this will work. It's perfect for drinking and cooking. Okay. Good to have in times of baking when you might not have milk, but I'm gonna use this. This milk is still good. Okay. Now let's get with our wet ingredients. Um, we're gonna do 1 cup. Remember, everything is equal. 1, 1, 1. That's 1 cup flour, 1 cup um of my uh, cornmeal, and 1 cup of milk as well. Okay. Now there is a difference. It's a slight difference. There is a slight difference between a cup of liquid and a cup like this. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you in a minute. Um, okay, so how am I gonna show you and prove that to you? I'm gonna pour a cup of milk in this. And then I'm gonna pour that cup of milk into this. And make sure it's clean. I'm gonna rinse that, y'all. To rinse it because it was in my. And I'm gonna pour that in there. Okay. This was a cup. This was a cup, but this is for dry ingredients. And this is when I that cup and dry ingredients. Y'all see how that's missing? That's only showing 3/4 of a cup in liquid. Y'all see that? So do not use this to measure liquids. This is for dry ingredients. Okay, y'all got that? Okay, cool. Now, if y'all don't believe me, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna pour this in here. Y'all see that? Even if I went just a tad bit more, which I shouldn't. All right, that was like a couple of drops, y'all. That was not a big difference. That's still not a cup. That's still what I said that was. Y'all see that? The cup. You have the cup even. It's not. Is it that important with cornbread? No, but with cakes, it is very important to have your ingredients right. Okay. So now we had a cup. Okay. It's leaving a little bit of milk. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. And I'm gonna do not put that in that. Put it in here. Oh, I dropped it a bit. Where's my egg? 1 egg. Okay. Um, need some oil or butter. You could use butter or oil. Um, yeah, you could use either one. I'm gonna use the oil, and you just need 1/4 of a cup, 1/4 a cup of butter or 1/4 a cup of oil. Okay, you know if it's butter, it tells you what the 1/4 cup is on the butter, so that's okay. And add that to that. So let me make sure I got everything. Oh, wait a minute, mark this up. Okay, so because when I'm doing it like the way I'm doing it, it confuses me. So I got the cornmeal and the flour. I do it like usually to remember it's 1-1-1, right? Cornmeal, flour, and the egg. Cornmeal, flour, egg, and I added in my baking powder, right? That's gonna give it the rise that it needs. And I added a little salt, and then my egg and my oil, and that should be everything. Um, that should be everything. That's everything. Okay, so we're gonna mix this really well. That's why you need to mix this well, right? You want that egg really mixed up. Okay, want that mixed up well, and then you want this, like I said, you want this mixed up well. Now, when it comes to flour, flour will turn into bread or it could turn into cake. There's a big difference in how cake is and bread, although you use the same thing, right? And the difference between them is gluten, how gluten develops. And how gluten develops is through the stirring up or the maneuvering or um, or the kneading, right? You heard of kneading bread. So you knead bread so it can form gluten. But you do not need uh, cornbread or cake because you don't want gluten. You want to crumble when it's cake or cornbread, right? And that's why you're doing this separate because you don't want to mix this too much because the more you mix this, the more gluten forms. And that's why you beat this ahead of time. You want this well incorporated, and then you're going to simply kind of just wet this, right? You could take your time, mix it, fold it in, because you do want this well incorporated, but you do not want gluten to form. So as you can see what I'm doing, I'm kind of mashing it, trying to get it all wet. Okay. It's not difficult, right? It's not difficult at all. But if you take this and start uh blending this too much, and when I say too much, like you would see it start forming. It'll start wanting to make like bread. Because how do you make bread? You make bread kind of the same way I just made this cornbread, except I wouldn't put cornmeal in it. But then again, I could put cornmeal in the bread. I could turn this into a loaf of bread if I wanted to. It'll be um, like a corn loaf. Okay, so I still have some more egg, and there we go. And I shouldn't have to really do nothing but get that liquid in there. And so see how I'm just mixing it, right? I'm kind of blending it in. I'm gonna taste it to make sure that it's sweet enough for my sweet cornbread. And if not, I'll add some more sugar. It tastes good. It's almost like cake mixed, and it is sweet. I think it's sweet enough. Okay. I put in a half a cup of sugar, remember? Okay, cool. That's it. Now what I'm gonna do is I had to put on the oven. I did not put on the oven. Give me a second. The oven should have been warming up. Let me push this over a little bit, y'all. Because I have a cast iron skillet in here and I want to take it out. And so when you're making bread, you don't play around. You put it on your highest temperature. Mine is 400. Okay. Um, but kind of big. Like I think I have some other. Those are seem like. Let's see. I should have some small. Um, Somebody, what the freaking thing? I'm gonna say these smaller ones. Now, I have some of these mini loaves also. If I want, I can make mini little cornbreads, right? By putting them in here. Hubby can take one to work tomorrow with leftovers, right? With beans and one of these, and I can make some in here. And I may do that. I'm thinking about that. Um, Also, you need a muffin pan? You do not. You could take these and put these on a regular pan, and put them side by side, and they will bake. Okay. I used to have some that had like aluminum on the outside, where you could just do them that way. That was a waste of money. Uh, I'm just gonna put them in there. I'd rather dip them out though. I mean, I either need a spoon or a dip. I do have ice cream scoops in multiple sizes. So I think I have one smaller than this. That one, this one, and I have lots of these. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna rinse it. Okay. I'm gonna move this spark out of my way because it's getting in my way. And by the way, you can, I'm gonna just put that in my mouth because it tastes good. I'm gonna scoop this and scoop that in there like that. Scoop, scoop you in like that. I'm thinking 2 half scoops may fill it up the way it needs to be. You don't want to overfill it. And see these dots? This is what I don't like. Right? Because I'm gonna be the okay. So that's how easy it is to make cornbread. Now I'm gonna show y'all how to make regular bread. I could do that this weekend. I can even do it tomorrow. Like if I don't have nothing to talk about, I'll show y'all what y'all need. Y'all don't need much, but you do need yeast. Okay, when we talk about pizza doughs, when you talk about making bread, you need yeast, something that makes it rise. And even though you could use baking powder, it's not gonna be enough. Baking powder, you would it would you know what I mean? Like you was just get some yeast. Yeast does not cost that much, and it will last you a long time. Okay, it will last you a very long time. Once you start making bread, you're gonna always want to make bread. Then once you make bread, you'll realize how many different types of breads you can make by just changing or adding something extra, right? You could add raisins in your bread, and you can add grains in your bread if you're on a health kick. You can like you truly flour. You could buy a lot of flour. Like that big thing of flour would not go to waste if you're messing around with me, baby. If you're messing around with me, I'll have you making all kinds of shit with that flour. Everything from pizza dough to hot pockets to like pie crust pies. Like you know what I mean? Like once you make a bread dough, once you make a dough, you can use it for all kinds of shit. I'll show you how to make a king cake. You name the cake, you tell me what it's called, and I'll tell you how to make. You're gonna need flour. You're gonna need the same things you always need to make bread. And that yeast is one of those things. That's the one thing that you probably not gonna have just off rip is yeast. Okay. I'll show you the yeast. It don't matter if it's active yeast or instant yeast. Okay, I'll tell you what the difference in those are. Now, as I got to the bottom, I started to notice a little dry flour. Which means I didn't mix it up, too much. I see a little dry flour. If you can see it right there, and I see it right there. Don't worry about that though, because what I'm gonna do is I'm about to moisten that right now with just a fork. Oh, I put the fork in the sink already. Don't. Let me grab another one or a spoon. I use one of the leak spoons and just take that dry area, kind of blend that in. You do want to if you see it, you do want to kind of fix it because it will be dry in that area. Okay, you just want to get it moist. That's all. And I have enough for two more. Um, but I think I'm gonna make hubby's. I'm gonna make him one of these. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is because of this type of pan, I'm going to put a little butter. You can either spread. That's what I'm gonna do actually. Okay. If you don't have this on hand, which I do not buy this, either hubby or my children buy this. I don't buy this because we always got butter. You understand what I'm saying, baby? But if we got it, then I'm gonna use it. And you just spread, and all you're doing is you don't want it to stick. And that's all this is. That's all this is for, to make sure that when you want to get the cornbread, it comes out. Um, you do that with cakes. My mom used to do it with butter, and then she would take some flour, dust it with flour, and that would help it not stick too. That's what she did with cakes. Okay. And then I'm gonna pour the rest of this in there. Now, y'all know them Boston. Some of these restaurants have their own cornbread. It's gonna be better than their cornbread. You can make it as sweet or not as sweet as you want. You can add spices to cornbread. You can add raisins to the cornbread. If you want, you can add chocolate to the cornbread. Like you can do whatever it is you want when you make your stuff. Okay, and as you see, that's not gonna be too high. It's, but if I wanted it to be, I'll take some out of one of these. But that's two, four, six. That's seven. I'm gonna That's seven. Two, four, six. I'm gonna take one of these and I'm gonna pour that in here. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this like it's cake mix because it tastes like that. Mm, mm. That's good. See that little dry part right there? What did I do with the spoon? Okay. I'm not sure if y'all can see it, but it's right there. It's dry. That means that was at the very bottom, which kind of mean I didn't mix it up. I didn't go all the way to the bottom to mix it. Just mix it up. Okay? And bam. The oven will beep when it's ready. And we're gonna pop that in the oven, baby. And now, if I'm making cornbread in, um, let's say a dish, whether it's round or not, right? It's gonna cook differently than in these tins, right? Because this is more, and they're thicker, and but they're small, compacted. So I'm gonna end up only doing these for like 15 to 20 minutes. They got something they call Johnny cakes. Um, I like today things have changed, so I try to just go by what y'all calling things these days, right? But Johnny cakes, um, if I'm correct, Johnny case with these things like this. That's my oven telling me it's ready, and it is at 400 degrees. Okay, this gonna cook differently than this, and I think I'm gonna put them in at the same time, and then we'll see. Okay, I definitely know this gonna cook between 15-20 minutes. This I never made them in this before, so I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take for this. Okay, this is small, just like that. I'm thinking around the same time frame. So we're gonna put them in. I'm gonna put them in. Give me a second. I don't know if y'all need to see me put them in, but if y'all want to, give me a second. Let me make some adjustments real quick. I have to open the oven up and put this where y'all can see it without me burning myself. Okay, I don't want to burn myself, baby. Let me see. Oh, wrong way. There we go. I don't want to burn myself. Okay, Bomb do not want to burn herself. Lord have mercy. Okay, so we gonna turn this on. You can see the oven. I'm just gonna slide it in. Okay. And that little one though, I'm gonna put it on top of something. Let me see what I'm gonna put it on top of. I'm gonna put that little one just on a pan. Okay. But I do want it on the same, I want it at the same level. So let me make some little adjustments real quick. Let me move y'all closer like that. Move y'all down like that. Okay, y'all can see it. Cool. Y'all see that? Cool. 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 Oh, okay. That was something I was showing y'all before the last stream ended. We're gonna make you go down a little bit. See if I can do it. Give me a second. I want you to head to go down like that. Move you over and pull you up. Oh, you can't. Can you see it? No, you can't. There you go. Now you can see it. Okay. So I was talking about these. These are. This came as a set. See that larger one down here? That two of these and some. I think this one, right? I think this is like a 9 inch. Actually, say 8 by 8. 2 quarts, 8 by 8. This says uh, this is, I think it's a 5 by 9. It's a 5 by 9, and it's a 1.5 quart or 1.5 liter. They even give it to you in centimeters. Okay. You can make your loaf of bread in these, or you can make your loaf of bread in this. I got this from the Dollar Tree. Okay. And I also want to show you, for those of you who remember me making my French bread, bottom of the y'all. This is for French bread loaves, bread loaves. Okay. And it's just a piece of where I put the loaves there and bake them in the oven. Okay. When you start getting into baking, which baking is my thing. Cakes, breads, then you might invest in something like this. It's not that much, but you don't need to, because you could do something like this in. I used to do this in aluminum foil, right? You could create these pockets with aluminum foil, and because I was getting more into it, that's why I purchased it. But you don't have to. You know how. So this set came like this. This set was like that with some thickness. This came like this, okay, at Walmart a while back. Okay. And that's how that came. And yeah, that's how that came. Okay. I had to wash this. I haven't been out here in a while, but I'm gonna wash this off like that. Close that up. Okay. No, I just wasted that on the floor. Okay, cool. Do y'all have any questions, comments, suggestions? And we're going, oh, I didn't put the timer on. So I'm gonna use the timer either on my microwave or I can use the timer on my stove. Like I have a cooking timer and a kitchen timer on my stove. If I use the cooking timer, it will turn off in the 12 minutes if I put it for 12 minutes. If I use the kitchen timer, it's just gonna alert me. I'm gonna I'm gonna put it on the microwave though, because it's easier for me. So I'm a kitchen timer. I'm gonna put it on 12 minutes, and that will alert me in 12 minutes. Okay. Okay. These somebody in the family bought them. I don't know if it was my son, the husband, possibly one of my sons. These are big. Okay. But they work. They work. I usually buy them smaller. Okay, now let's start the cleanup. If you need my cornbread recipe is not a special. It's not anything special, y'all. Okay, it's not. Uh, in fact, I can't remember. I can't remember where I got my recipe from. It may have been. I don't know where I got my recipe from. I'm quite sure it was. It actually might be on the package. Let me see. Uh, okay, they do have a couple of recipes back here, but honey cornbread or corn muffins, and they their recipe is different. They're using 2 large eggs, half a stick of melted butter. They even using vanilla, which I have used vanilla before. They also have okay. So up here though, they have golden yellow cornbread or corn muffins. Okay, and one, one, three. Oh, that look like my recipe. I may have got my recipe from one of these type of things. This is very similar. They want their oven at 425. They only use 1/4 cup of sugar. Um, I think all things do it that way. Uh, pour batter in an 8x8. Bake for 20-25 minutes. Um, and yeah, they got 15 to 20 minutes on the corn muffins. So this looked very similar to my recipe, except I added more sugar. This one, I added more sugar, and I didn't add no honey. You woke back? Can you send me my money back? I sent it to you by accident because I was supposed to send it to him. He asked me to loan it to him because he told me you told me yeah. But then he didn't want to wake you up. So when I went to send it to him, I sent it to you. And then I had to send him. So I need money from you. And he gonna give my money back. So the food almost ready to come back. The right, everything else done. The cornbread just got it. You want some of them? You got them. They're good. It'll be ready in like give it like 10 minutes. Huh? Okay. I don't have a special cornbread recipe. Okay, it's not no family or secret recipe or nothing like that. It came from something like this. Probably was another cornbread brand. I don't know. Okay, I gotta wash that one. The reason I take them off is so I just have to clean these two, and then attach it back, and then I hang it on my baker's rack. Okay, so I don't lose them because we have so many of these, y'all. I might lose the 1 cup. I'd be like, oh my God, where the 1 cup? Right? So I had to figure out how do I not lose. And when I say lose, they be in the house somewhere, right? That doesn't help me if they're somewhere. They need to be where I can get them. And in my household, my family, man, okay? They they may wash the dishes and then they may put it wherever they want to put it. And then I'll be like, well, where the hell is it? Right? These things, they'll throw them in the dishwasher. I'm like, it's just simple to wash them, right? And nothing, that all this was that was in there was what I put in here: milk, flour, and sugar. Okay, and this one, I think I forgot what I used that for. I can't remember. Okay, I can't remember. So I let them air dry. Okay, I just attach them back. You want a big one in that, and it doesn't really matter. Close it up, and I'm gonna hang them up. My baker's rack used to be in the kitchen until we got this new refrigerator, and my whole kitchen had to change around. And now, uh, I'm gonna put this in the dishwasher because I'm gonna run the dishwasher. Maybe I don't have hardly anything in it now. I feel like nothing was on the food. Now this thing right here is taken apart like that, and it's easy to rinse. Here, this thing, I washed this. Okay, where is my soap? Is that the soap? Man, I ain't gonna tell you like they start confusing me. So listen, this used to be the soap. I swear to God, I don't know if this is the soap anymore. See, they come like this used to be my dish soap. Now I got, but it might be oil, and the only way now it's the cooking oil. One time, man, it freaked me out. I was like, "What is this? Where's my soap?" And I was like, "Is this soap?" And I'm like, "Are y'all using soap in the food? Like, what is going on?" Look, y'all, it's the same damn color, you see? And I used to have it in there. They took over. Once they took over, I could be washing with oil. The thing is, they don't usually wash dishes by hand. But why would they change my whole everything? They did though, and I ain't got no choice because I I ain't down here cooking every day no more. Okay, and because I'm not down here every day cooking anymore, I don't even recognize my kitchen. Okay, I don't be knowing where she is. Everything had a place. And every place had a thing. Everything had a place, and every place had a thing. And that's not so much anymore. Okay, and, my my cast iron skillet started getting washed in the dishwasher. Like, why would you do that? Man, you don't wash no cast iron in no dishwasher or no water, period. No water, period. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that, man? What's the reason for that? I don't know. I don't even know. Okay, me too. I don't know. This stuff shouldn't be in here neither. This stuff's not supposed to get washed in the water. This is the what you call 'em wrap, the roaster, uh, or I forget what they call it thing. Roaster, it's a big pan, but I forget what this thing called. Like a dripping pan, right? It has a part that goes underneath it, which is over there. But this not supposed to. This don't need to be washed in the water. And if it get washed in water, it shouldn't be sitting in water, y'all. Okay. My pans here also. That's why they look like this. Now, nothing wrong with them looking like this. Okay. Uh-oh. But it wouldn't look like this if they never had gotten washed. This is the older one. Made pizza this weekend. That's why these are out. And remember, I told you when I made those minis, and this is what happened. You know this out the way. This was on my muffin pan from the mini. That's really baked cheese. Timer. And you smell them. Hold up. Let me check. I still got some time. I'll show y'all them. Give me a second. Boom, boom. I'm gonna hold it. Wait. Yeah. They need some more color. Okay. They're doing good though. They smell good. Okay. Cool. So good. Okay. Let's move you. Do some cleaning. And let that sit for a while. Dishwasher. This also. And just because you have a dishwasher don't mean, listen, I still got, you got to clean out your dishwasher, okay? I think I made a video a few years back showing people how to clean out their dishwasher. But yeah, you have to clean out your dishwasher. If you don't, after a while, your dishwasher won't wash for you anymore. It's still draining, I think so. Okay. Let this sit a little longer. Yeah, I'm gonna wash them towels because they're in my way. It's like 3 towels up here. I don't know why. Really just need one. Okay, let me check. It's getting browner. Um, I forgot to set the timer. So it was 12 minutes. It beat that 12 minutes, and then it's 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Use your timers is best, right? The best to use your timers. That way you can, you'll kind of know. That's the good thing about technology, baby. Okay. Technology is going to allow you to um, keep up with your times. Go ahead, Tyler. Use your nose just like you use your sight. This is might look like a piece of trash, but it's really what they call it? It's to scrape sandpaper. This is sandpaper. Okay. So if we have any stubborn stains, the sandpaper will help you get it off. So that's what that is. If this won't get it off, then that sandpaper definitely. Anyway, cornbread is almost done. I don't really have much to talk about. After that's done, I'm gonna probably sign off. Um, I do have some plants to handle. I think tomorrow that's what I may go live with that. Okay. I'm way behind y'all. I was supposed to be up and starting early. I was supposed to have an early start. And now I'm like right on time. So there's no early start, which means without the early start, um, yeah, I wanted to have an early start. It's still cold here at night. Okay. The last frost date is the 12th in my area. So the 12th of this month is the last frost date based on the the almanac, whatever the what is called. It's not called the World Almanac, the U.S. Almanac, or I don't know. I don't know. Something almanac, which follows the trends on the rotation of the earth, and that's how they dictate weather, right? They foretell weather based on the rotation of the earth and some other patterns, okay? And it's done years in advance, years in advance. So I think I can't remember if I'm in zone A, 8B, something like that. I'm in that zone. And yeah, if you're in different zones, your planning gonna be different than mine. Okay. You have a longer planting season or a shorter one. And or you can plant things that I can't, or I can plant things you can't at different times. And so that's why some of y'all might be in the south and you're waiting for me, but like if you're in the south waiting for me, you're gonna be behind. But the good thing is, if you're in the south, you could grow year long, right? You're rarely going below 30 degrees at any time in the year, so you got a longer uh, growing season. Uh-oh. Okay, y'all, I'm about to take them out. I'm gonna show you what it look like before I take them out, though. Okay, good, pretty, nice color. Uh-oh, I don't want to do that. I just took a picture. Didn't mean to do that. And I'm gonna pull them out real quickly and sit them. Okay. Let me let me see. I'm gonna put them in. Okay, so I am going. I'm gonna sit them on something. I don't like putting anything on my. So I'm gonna sit them there. I'm gonna use this thing that I should not be using because I know that this shit ain't that great. But I'm scared when I use it. That's that. And I'm gonna just slide this small one off and sit it there. I'm gonna turn my oven off. We're gonna I'll probably come. I'm gonna put the cast iron in the oven, even though it's hot. That's okay. I should have lightly covered it in oil, what I should have done. I'm gonna take a look at this really quickly. I let him know if he's watching, he could come and get food. I'm not gonna make it for him, okay? He's going to make it himself. Rice is done, and the food is done. Trying to get everything all in my kitchen so I can get out of here. Let me stop this share. I hope everybody is okay. Um, let's stop it. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. Um, I've been out here for a minute, right? I knew it was gonna take this long because I was talking a lot. Um, but it didn't. I knew I'd be out here around about 5 hours, and that's for me to make the beans, the rice, and the cornbread. I was up in the air about the cornbread. Um, Originally I was gonna make it, then I found out leak wasn't coming. I was like, I'm not gonna make it. But then it don't take much time, and it may look like it took a long time, but it didn't. I was talking, so. But if when you're in the kitchen and you're doing it, you put the ingredients together, you mix it up real quick, and then you pop it in the oven. Bam! You gotta wait the 15 to 20 minutes. That's something that you gotta do. That was at my that's at my 400 degrees too. Like some have you take it to 425. Those that have you take it to 350, then you're cooking it, you're baking it even longer. Okay. Now you know what I didn't do. I didn't put a fork in the middle to make sure they're done. I'll show you me doing that now. Oh, I can't. Let me see. I'm not just start to share again. Just because, and the only reason I didn't do that originally is because number one, these are small, right? They are muffins, or AKA Johnny cakes. Okay. And so when they're larger, you usually have to do that to make sure the center is done. These are small. So you take a fork or a toothpick or something that will go in the center, and you just go in all the way in the center, dip out. If it comes out clean, then it's done. I'm gonna do it to this one, right? You put it in like that. If it comes out clean, it's done. Now, if it come out with some wetness, depending on how wet, right? Because uh, people get confused. When it's wet, wet, you'll know it. You won't be thinking, oh, it's a little wet. If I don't know. Nah, if it's a little wet, it's done. It'll sit there and finish cooking in a short period of time. But if it's wet, wet, you know what I mean? Like if you can see the wetness and then you know that it's not done in the center. And you do stick in the center. You don't stick, you go in the center at the thickest part. And on this, if you look, it has a kind of like a circle, where it's going like this. You stick it right in there. And if the center is done on this, then it's done everywhere. Okay. Also, if it's done on this, then it's done on all these too. But this is bigger and thicker. Okay. That's how you do that. Hope y'all don't have any questions. Um, I don't know. I'm not feeling good right now. I don't know what happened. My stomach. I haven't even eaten. My stomach going bloop. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm going to sign off, okay? If y'all have any questions, comments, or suggestions, y'all make sure you leave them on the video. If y'all really have any questions, you could call me, right? And also, I will put up, I am going to cook this weekend because my son's birthday just passed, and y'all, I forgot. On his actual day, me and him, he came in my room, we was talking. Not until the next day, I don't know what I was doing, and I looked at the date, and I was like, wait a minute, right? I felt bad about that, right? I'm telling him happy belated birthday, even though he was like, if he wouldn't have been here, like I always say, he rarely ever here, I rarely ever see him. But on his birthday, I went in there, I was yelling at him because I wasn't yelling at him, but I was yelling because I kept hearing this loud ass noise in my ears. So I couldn't hear what he was saying, and I was talking loud because that was on his birthday. He came in my room, we talked, and I never said happy birthday because I didn't know the date. I didn't realize what date it was. The very next day is when I realized I forgot to tell my baby happy birthday. I felt so bad about that. So bad. I feel like a bad mom. Okay. I'm gone. Look, he's 30. He's 30. Oh, wait, did he turn 30? Oh, did he turn 31? That's a good question. I have to think about it.